Have you ever considered that creativity isn't just about making things, but making and remaking yourself, about becoming someone new, about remembering who you've always been? What if the canvas, the notebook, the mic, the lens were not just tools to make art, but portals into transformation? Welcome back to Creative Birthright. This video is a love letter to art as personal evolution, to your creative practice as a mirror, a compass, and sometimes a lifeline. Let's explore how artists like Erykah Badu, Ringgold, Beyoncé, and Audre Lorde have used their creative work to become more fully themselves, and how you can too. Let's dive in. Art is a portal to evolution. It's the part of ourselves that holds up a mirror to show us who we are and who we can be. Erykah Badu is a great example of this. She has never stayed the same. She doesn't just make albums, she evolves through them. Each project reflects a different stage of her journey. When asked, what does music mean to her, she said, "I don't think I would be really much without it coming through me. It's my means of communication, my means of growth, my means of transportation from one point in my life to another." And you can see it. From Baduism to New America, the music journeys through not only political commentary and spirituality, but personal growth and reflections on motherhood, heartbreak, and healing. I invite you to consider that art is a tool for personal growth for all of us. Whether we are a Grammy-winning singer like Miss Badu or a hobbyist painter, art is how we heal, how we process, how we grow. And there is some science behind this. Psychologist James Penbaker found that expressive writing has measurable mental and emotional health benefits. The act of putting our experiences into words actually helps us integrate them. Creativity is not just expression, it's reflection, a mirror that shows us what we're carrying and what we need to let go. I encourage you to integrate this more deeply into your creative practice. Start a creative mirror practice. At the end of each week, spend 15 minutes or more journaling or sketching how you really felt. Don't aim for some beautiful poetic prose, aim for honesty and see what comes of it. I'm going to commit to doing this with y'all, and I'll come back and I'll let y'all know how it goes. There's a phrase I come back to often: the work works on you. Beyoncé's journey is one of the clearest examples of this. From the polished perfection of Destiny's Child and early solo projects, to the raw vulnerability of Lemonade and the freedom of Renaissance, each body of work has revealed a different layer of her becoming. Lemonade was more than an album. It was a reckoning, a ritual, a work of art that demanded truth, that honored ancestry, that channeled heartbreak into healing. And it changed her. You can feel it in the visuals, in the lyrics, in the silence between songs. And in the artist she has become since. An artist more rooted in her lineage, more expansive in her joy, and more intentional about her freedom. By Renaissance, she's dancing in liberation, creating joy on her own terms, and inviting us to rejoice with her. Her creative process is a cycle of becoming. Each project is not just something she made, but something that made her. And creativity is one of the only tools I know of that allows you to get in touch with your inner self in such an intimate way, that allows you to pull out what's inside of you and remake who you are. I mean, you can only remake yourself through an act of creation. And psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, and I'm still learning how to pronounce his name, so I'm going to put it on the screen. But Mihai called this kind of creative engagement flow state, an immersive state where we lose sense of time and ego and become fully present in the moments and in the work. But flow doesn't just make us feel good. It changes us. It strengthens our focus, our discipline, our confidence. It teaches us how to listen to ourselves. I encourage you to be more intentional about making space for being able to get in this type of creative flow on a consistent basis. This could look like scheduling 1 hour each week where you completely disconnect from the rest of the world and focus on your art. So you turn off your phone, maybe you put on some music or do whatever ritual you have around your creative practice. Do that, set a timer, and let your chosen creative medium lead. And if you don't have an hour, that's okay. Even 20 focused minutes can shift your energy and create a breakthrough in your life, can show you something new about yourself and push you towards personal growth and evolution. So give it a try and let me know what happens. Art is a way to make sense of the world around us and within us. And poetry is not a luxury. Audre Lorde says, poetry is the way we help give name to the nameless, so it can be thought. The farthest external horizons of our hopes and fears are cobbled by our poems, carved from the rock experiences of our daily lives. And what this means to me is that in times of grief, confusion, joy, or transition, art helps us metabolize what would otherwise overwhelm us. Art gives form to the formless. It lets us take pain and shape it, take memory and preserve it, take truth and name it. In her book, Teaching to Transgress, Bell Hooks wrote, life-transforming ideas have always come to me through books. But for many of us, they also arrive through paint, sound, dance, rhythm, and story. Creativity becomes a way of tracing the sacred through our ordinary lives. Both of these quotes remind us that to make art is to make meaning. It's a way of staying present, staying alive, and staying human. So give this a try. When you feel overwhelmed, don't scroll. Create. Draw your feelings, write your feelings, record your feelings. Let your creativity hold the chaos. Art keeps us grounded and whole. Art invites us to know beauty and to solicit it from even the most tragic of circumstances. Art reminds us that we belong here. We often think of art as something separate from ourselves, something we do. But the truth is, it is also something we are. Art is an integral part of what makes us us, of what makes us human, a reflection of who we are. And as long as we see art as something separate from the artist, we remain disconnected from a big part of our identity. If we are cutting ourselves off from that part of our identity, we are giving up a part of our agency and the ability to fully define who we are. Faith Ringgold once said, "You can't sit around and wait for somebody to say who you are. You need to write it and paint it and do it." And you have to include creativity in this process of getting to know yourself and defining who you are, because your creative practice is a map of your becoming. The work you make reflects your obsessions, your questions, your contradictions, the fullness of who you are. The more you create, the more you reveal yourself to yourself. If you were to look back on your past creative work, what patterns, themes, or questions repeats? What do they say about your becoming? Take some time to reflect on that, and then create something new in response. Who are you now? Who have you become? In everything we've explored, Erykah's shape-shifting sound, Beyoncé's vulnerability and growth, Audre's clarity, Bell Hooks' wisdom, I see my own journey mirrored back to me in all of their stories. And maybe you do too. Just a few years ago, I was completely disconnected from my creative identity and my creative birthright. I had been living with the misbelief that creativity was something separate from myself. But I never stopped journaling, and by writing out my thoughts and feelings, I was able to uncover something was missing. And that thing that was missing was my creativity. I got the urge to create something, I started doing random DIY projects around my house, some more successful, some not so much. And then I got back into jewelry making, and that unlocked something inside of me. And I was called back to writing, and I felt compelled to take it seriously. The act of creating on a consistent basis, tapping into my imagination and curiosity in new ways, allowed me to dream beyond what I thought was possible. I haven't published anything yet, but writing has helped me work through my complicated emotions. It has revealed parts of myself that no longer serve me and empowered me to make room for growth. In writing itself, it allows me to pull things that are inside, put them on paper, and examine them from a bit of a distance. And that distance allows me to learn something new about myself, or the idea that I was having, or the belief, in a way that I would never be able to do if I just kept it inside of me. I'm still very early in my journey, and I'm so excited to see what comes next. But now that I have reconnected with my creativity, it has become my sanctuary, the one place I can go and be fully understood and show up as my full self and discover parts of myself that I might not have known were there. Embarking on this journey to become a published writer has revealed to me that I have the courage to try new things. And in the process, I have had to confront my inner critic and self-doubt and ask myself some very tough questions around why I have doubts and where it's coming from. And by asking myself those hard questions, I have strengthened my confidence and trust in myself. So even if I never publish a book, my creative practice will always be a place where I uncover truths about myself, make meaning of the world around me, and grow into the person I am becoming. What about you? Where has your creativity taken you? What has it taught you? Who are you becoming through your art? Your creative practice doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. It doesn't have to be public to be sacred. What matters is that it's yours and that you keep showing up to it. Art is not a destination, it's a process, a practice, a personal evolution. Let it evolve you. Let it grow you. Let it remind you who you are. That's all I have for you today, but I will leave you with this. Ask yourself, what's one small way I can commit to my creative growth this week? Then do it. Start messy, stay honest, keep going. Let me know in the comments what you will be committing to in the coming week, and make sure you hit that like button on the way out. All right, I'll see you in the next video.